Our Hawaii vacation turned into a Los Angeles staycation. Hey hitchhikers, welcome back to another episode of Bag Lady Unloaded. I am Nick, the Poetic Nomad, and today we are talking about how my Hawaii vacation turned into a Los Angeles staycation. I planned a trip to go to Hawaii with my kids. We've been stuck in the house so long because it's COVID. And then I'm like reading like what are the stipulations about, quarantine and COVID and all of that jazz, right? I browsed the website that they have. There's this Safe Travels website that they want you to have downloaded. They want you to either get a test within 72 hours of coming, or you're gonna have to quarantine when you're there. I kind of go out about my business and completely forget about the COVID test. Me and my children already got COVID on a trip to Georgia in January. I'm like, not even really thinking about the test. Plus, I'm like really tied up at work. Work has been really busy. I kind of had a lot of stuff on my mind, completely forgetting about the test that we need to take until we get to the airport. And now I'm getting a little scared, but I'm like, but there should be something we can do. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be. Maybe they have like tests at the airport. I'll take a rapid test if I had to. We fly all the way to Hawaii. The flight was actually pretty nice. We flew with Hawaiian. The staff was really nice. They gave us like a little egg sandwich on the way over. Egg and like zucchini and cheese. I was so hungry and I didn't pack anything. Yes, I know you're like, why are you so not prepared for life? We land in Hawaii and we get off the plane and they're telling us like you have to be screened. You can't just like walk out the airport. You have to like be checked. We have to go off to the side, make sure we have the app downloaded because we don't have wristbands, which is what some people had because they were smart and prepared for life. They had wristbands so they could just bypass the screening and just go and enjoy their time in Hawaii. So we were, standing in the line. I'm getting even more and more scared because this looks like official. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like talking to the lady when I get up to her, like, maybe, I can go take a test. I'm willing to pay for like a one of those rapid tests. Oh no, we don't take that. And I'm like, I can't take a test at all. Now that I'm here, they're like, no, you can't take a test. You have to stay in a hotel. And I'm like, okay, well, what about food and stuff? Like, how do I get food? You have to use DoorDash. I'm like, really? They're like, there is nothing we can do. At this point, I'm like irritated, annoyed, and just, I don't know, a little stressed. But I'm also like still hoping that like there has to be a way. Like we came all the way here. You guys don't have testing at the airport, which I feel like that would have been convenient if you would have had testing at the airport, but they didn't. And so it's like there has to be a way, right? But she calls the hotel and gives them my name and like takes my ID, has me sign a waiver saying that I will not violate quarantine. Quarantine has to be for 10 days. Mind you, our trip was only supposed to be 5 days. And so at this point, we're like all looking at each other like, me and my kids like, what? What's happening? There's a $5,000 fine if you leave the hotel. There's also up to a year in jail time. We were like really, really bummed at this point, right? Because we already flew all the way there. We take a taxi to the hotel and we're like looking around. And at this point, I like have such an attitude that I'm like, it's not even that nice here. Like, just paid all this money to fly here. Like, it just, California is so much prettier. Like, oh my God, like this is just not even, not even that serious. Like, what are we even missing out on? Like, now that I'm here, who cares? But of course, it's just the attitude talking, right? We get to the hotel and the guy is asking to see our Safe Travels app. And I showed him the app, unfortunately, and it says that I am not exempt from the quarantine. And so he takes the 2 keys that he originally sat down on the counter back, and then gives me this 1 single-use key so we cannot leave the hotel. We're all like, oh, you know, our stomachs are just dropping. We're just so sad. And I'm still trying to hold out hope because I'm just that type of a person. I'm like, there has to be a way. We're already here. And so, you know, we get up to the room. I order some food. I'm like, let's just get some food in our stomachs. Think about the situation. There has to be something we can do. Maybe the guy downstairs will allow us to go, you know, take a test really quick. If we do the rapid test, we can get our results back tomorrow. We can go to the beach. I'm calling around. I'm looking for places like, oh yeah, we do rapid testing. Come right now. We got you. I call down to the surface desk at the hotel, and the guy is like, yeah, I don't think that they take the rapid testing, and you're gonna have to call the state. And I'm like, come on, man. Help us out. It's spring break. He's just like, yeah, sorry. And so I'm like, fuck. So I'm like really reading through the app, and what I see is that if you've already had COVID in the last 90 days, then you could be exempt from quarantine. I'm like, oh great, I have, you know, the link that shows that I had COVID already. And so I like emailed them like, hey, I already had COVID and I see that I could be exempt. And they're like, yeah, if you had COVID, you can definitely be exempt, but you need a note from the doctor from before you flew in. I don't have a note from the doctor from before I flew in. So I'm like, at this point, like crying. So we made it to Hawaii, and it looks okay. That could be the anger talking because we have to self-quarantine the entire time we're here, so we can't even go to the beach. It sucks. I'm disappointed, and I'm really trying to look for a light at the end of the tunnel because I pay a lot of money for us to come and enjoy ourselves. It's not worth it to stay. I'd already taken the time off work. I'm using my paid vacation days. When we made it back home, everybody was so sad, and we really didn't want to stay at home. We were all pumped to just get out there and have some fun. So we decided to do a staycation in Los Angeles. And so I looked around and booked us a really nice hotel. It was really gorgeous. The staff was amazing. We stayed at the Kimpton Everly Hotel. We were given a room on the top floor. The views are amazing. They had a rooftop pool. And a cafe. The food was delicious. So we decided to pretend we were tourists. We went to see the Hollywood sign, the Walk of Fame, and we even took a tour. So we're walking on Sunset Boulevard. Trader Joe's is a great place to stop and get food. It's super cheap, and the waters are like 10 cents, like 50 cents if you want a huge water. For someone like me, but we're having a great time. Say hi, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. We went to Madame Tussauds. We had a lot of fun there. We also went to the El Capitan Theater, which I had never been to before. And we saw Raya, which was a really cute movie. We really enjoyed it. We also went hiking at Runyon Canyon. The views from there were amazing. We didn't make it all the way to the top. We came back down, but it was still fun. We actually ended up having a really great spring break. And I asked the kids, would they go back to Hawaii? And my daughter is like, yeah, she wants to go back, definitely. My boys are like, no. It was completely my fault because I should have like been more informed, but you live and you learn. And yeah, so that's our trip. I hope you guys enjoy this story, and I hope that this really helps someone. Before you go to Hawaii, please get COVID tested. Do not try to just go and think that, oh, it's going to be fine. I'll be able to get a test and stuff when you're there, because I made that mistake for all of us. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the way it will work. And so if you do make it to Hawaii and you have fun, please let me know in the comments how you enjoyed your stay in Hawaii. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to convince my kids to go back. So we have another trip coming up next weekend. We're going to San Diego, so stay tuned. If you like the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more crazy travel stories and my spiritual journey. Thanks for watching.